Good morning and happy Friday. Welcome to the Friday morning rundown for RotoPros, DraftKings, and FanDuel's NBA breakdown on Friday, March 22nd. Josh here with RotoPros.com. We have a 1-week free trial going on. You can pay no money at all and see what we're all about in our chat. Not here to advertise. Let's get going. First, let's start away with the point guard position. As usual, Russell Westbrook and James Harden make for our top expensive plays on the slate. James Harden just does what nobody else can and defies logic and just shows us over and over that no one can score like him in the NBA. And even with a not so great matchup against Memphis last time out, let's see exactly what he went for. I know he went for 58 points. He went for only a usage rate of 46.6. He took 39 shots and ended up with 57 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists. So no one does it like the Beard. So for that reason alone, James Harden's going to be my number one expensive play on the slate. We have some extra value tonight with the Grizzlies in particular, with Mike Conley looking set to miss this one and Avery Bradley already being ruled out. That immediately throws DeLon Wright on DraftKings more than FanDuel, because I don't think he's a point guard on FanDuel, but he's one of our top value plays of the slate. DeLon Wright has had some usage rates north of 30 this year when given the opportunity, and I expect him to be a very popular play. He'll be in most of my lineups tonight. DeLon Wright is my favorite cash point guard of the evening. There are some other guys like D'Angelo Russell who's playing very well, going back to the Lakers. Sorry, my dog. Going back to the Lakers at the moment. Hey, shh. Right now, so please. Oh, God. Anyway, sorry. Going back to the Lakers, I like him as a GPP play. Hey, stop. Sorry. If anyone's tuning in, this is the first one that's been kind of messed up by the dogs. But we'll continue to go through this. You know what? Hold on a second. I can't believe I have to do this. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that. Where were we? D'Angelo Russell, one of my favorite GPP point guards on the slate. He's going back to LA. It's a little bit of a revenge narrative. I'd like to plug guys in there for that reason alone, but when they also happen to be playing very well, the team that they want revenge against is pretty bad at defense. It all seems to fit. Fred VanVleet is another mid-range option tonight that's going to be very popular in cash. I believe Lowry is still out, so barring some late news there, if Kyle Lowry plays, will be a bit of a downgrade to VanVleet, but as of now, he's one of our top value plays at the point guard position. And Tyler Dorsey, another guy, he's bare minimum 3K on DraftKings, just got called up from the G League, and will most likely be slotting into that starting two guard for the Grizzlies tonight. Speaking of the two guard, moving over to shooting guards, James Harden, same deal. Him and D'Angelo Russell are my top two expensive plays on DraftKings, but then we have VanVleet and DeLon Wright, as you probably could have guessed. Damian Dotson's a name for the Knicks that's really one of the only guys, along with Trier, who's actually injured right now, who Coach Fizdale seems to be giving consistent minutes to, unless the game is completely out of hand. But literally out of his last almost 10 games, I would say one of them was under 30 minutes played. So Damian Dotson's priced pretty well, but he's safe if you end up there. I like him better for cash. DeLon Wright, Fred VanVleet, we've discussed. Let me see who else. Going through this as we talk. Danny Green, the GPP target tonight if you want to fade VanVleet and go a little bit cheaper, in case he has an off night. Being a 5,500 going up against Russ is never easy. So that's it for Patrick Beverley. I would say he's also in play for cash. we've learned by now that it's good to target the Cavs, the Hawks, the Lakers, teams like that defensively, or the Magic even though they're playing a little bit better. Giannis should be back tonight, so he's one of the top plays at small forward. But the Heat are not, the easiest matchup in the world, and I just prefer Harden and Westbrook over him tonight. Even LeBron going up against the Nets, I would say is a safer matchup than Giannis for $1,000 more. So I prefer the savings with LeBron or even Paul George over Giannis. Kawhi, another cash play tonight, especially if Kyle Lowry does end up missing this one. Let's see what Kawhi's usage and stats. It's the same exact matchup as he had on the other day against Oklahoma City with Kawhi out. His usage with Lowry out. His usage wasn't anything nuts, but he did play 42 minutes and he went for a double-double and was 4 assists shy of a triple-double. So, for less than 9K, Kawhi Leonard is more than in play. Moving down, Karis LeVert is a decent GPP option. I think that Laker-Nets game is going to be interesting tonight. It's going to have a lot of points, a lot of not so great defense. So definitely worth targeting. Damian Dotson, we've already spoken about. Eric Gordon should be back tonight for the Rockets, so it does give Harden a little bit of a bump. But as we mentioned, he's superhuman. Derek Jones should be in the starting lineup for the Heat tonight. We'll see later if Bam Adebayo is out. If he's out, it's even more usage to go around. I would imagine someone like Olenek would get the start if Bam gets ruled out, or maybe even Hassan. But Derek Jones is down to 3,300, and his usage in minutes have actually been trending up, even though he's been shooting poorly. So all we have to do now is see what the sorry, I misspoke. But yes, Derek Jones is just a quick little GPP dart, 3,300. If you need to fill the last person on your roster, you can do a lot worse than a starter at that price. Danny Green, we've already spoken about. He's not as flashy as Van Vliet, considering Van Vliet will have more control over the offense, but Danny Green is in play as well. He's too cheap with Lowry out, and what should be a good game against Oklahoma City. They're going to need a lot of points. Justin Holiday is someone who's kind of been the forgotten man lately, as he was traded to Memphis and then just stopped really doing that well, and they picked up some other players that outshined him. But with all those guards out for Memphis tonight, I wouldn't be shocked if Justin Holiday took a 5 or 6 extra 3-pointers, and if he gets hot, he's a guy who's going to chalk. And when they need points, which they will tonight, he can help them out. So I don't mind him, and he hasn't been talked about as much today. Moving over to power forward, a bunch of the same guys: Giannis, Paul George, LeBron, Kawhi. I like people like LaMarcus more for cash games. Kevin Love, we'll check back on his status later. He's questionable tonight, but if he can make it out there, I think I like him in a plus matchup with the Clippers. Spicy P, Pascal Siakam is in play tonight with Lowry out, of course, unless that changes. Bam Adebayo is questionable. I like him a lot if he plays, but let's check back to that to see, because obviously I don't like him if he doesn't get the start. Derek Jones, we've discussed. Larry Nance is someone I like a little bit more if Kevin Love is out. And in terms of Noah Vonleh, I don't like him, but pay attention to the news, because if he's out, then I consider that a nice bump for Mitchell Robinson for the Knicks. Last but not least, we'll move over to the center position. And Vukovic and Jokic, both the Nikolas, are my top expensive plays. This could be a completely random theory, but I'd like to. I'm going to make a point to check the stats on this, but I have a theory that when these Eastern European big men battle each other in games, that they try a little bit harder. So that's what we have tonight with Vukovic and Valanciunas. So I happen to think Jonas Valanciunas is one of the top plays on the slate. He sported a usage rate of almost 37 last game with Avery Bradley out, and now we have Mike Conley out as well. So I expect DeLon Wright and Jonas Valanciunas to be my favorite combination. And, maybe they'll be one of the more popular combos tonight, because I'm not the only one seeing Valanciunas' averages and simulations, but logic would say that usage and that scoring needs to be made up somewhere. So barring a blowout, a lot needs to be done tonight for Valanciunas and DeLon Wright, and they need to make up a lot of points in usage. So keep an eye on that. Moving down, Jared Allen is someone who I think is pretty safe for cash plays. The Lakers haven't been defending the 5 very well lately. And then Mitchell Robinson, I like him for GPP. He hasn't gotten less than 2 blocks in a game since February 3rd. And then with Noah Vonleh looking questionable, he could be in for some extra usage in minutes tonight. That's it. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry for the interruption. And we will see you in our Slack chat, rotopros.com. We have a week free trial right now, 1 week free. You can see what we're about and learn a little bit about DraftKings and how to play and be successful at DFS. Thank you. Happy Friday.